Banks are getting more aggressive with people who don't keep up with their mortgage payments. And according to a report out today, the number of homeowners getting their first default warning shot up 14% in the third quarter of this year. So we asked Jim Axelrod what people in danger of losing their homes can do.
There are about 5 million people who need help.
There may be no one who knows more about what Americans fighting foreclosure are going through than Colleen Hernandez.
It's ironic that people who are in this large group feel so alone.
The housing crisis isn't hard to understand,
but it's hard to fix. And it's fixed one by one.
And we're going to take a look at the budget right now.
Hernandez runs the Hope Hotline, a not-for-profit service that shepherds distressed homeowners. Counselors will even call the banks on behalf of borrowers to ask about loan modifications or recommend to homeowners that they sell.
So keeping the home at the end of the day is your ultimate goal.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Hernandez commands an army of 600 counselors who field the calls of a nation in need.
In 5 years, you've gone from 40 calls a day. You had how many yesterday?
4,000. And
that's a 40 to 4,000?
That's right.
And 4,000 is a slow day?
4,000 is a slow day.
How much was your original interest rate?
It's free to call. Lenders largely foot the bill, Hernandez says, because they avoid millions in losses by preventing more foreclosures. But there's much more than money at stake.
There's the loan facts and the budget facts, but underneath that there's really this person who feels hopeless, afraid. Our counselors are trained in what's called empathic listening. You listen for the facts and you listen for the feeling.
How did you hear of us?
Maureen Rodriguez was a realtor for 12 years before becoming a counselor. About a third of the people she speaks to won't be able to keep their homes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Every single client we talk to is a different story. There's no story that's the same.
800 miles away in Chicago, 55-year-old Ronald Sweat told Rodriguez one of those stories. He worked for the railroad for nearly 30 years until he got injured and faced foreclosure.
I never dreamed that I would be in that position.
Rodriguez eventually connected Sweat to a state agency that agreed to help him pay his mortgage.
I just thank God every day, and Maureen.
Makes me feel good. It's a good ending.
One good ending out of the 1.5 million stories homeowners have told Hope Hotline counselors since the crisis began.
If you could wave your magic wand and talk to every single person who needed your services, how many people would you be talking to?
About 5 million.
So how come you can't get to the other 3.5 million?
They don't know we're here. They don't know their options, and they don't know that trustworthy help is available.
With no end to the mortgage mess in sight, Hernandez says the Hope Hotline is planning on being available for at least the next 5 years. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Freehold, New Jersey.
As we were looking through today's foreclosure numbers, this jumped out at us. Nationwide, it now takes close to a year for the foreclosure process to play out. The foreclosure processing average nationwide is 336 days, but look at this. In New York, it's 986 days, the longest of any state, nearly 3 years.